Stay tuned for Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas, a leading financial retirement strategist and the founder of Soutas Financial and Insurance Solutions, right here in Fresno. Every week, Dale discusses pressing financial topics of the week, ranging from reliable income strategies to our financial markets, including Social Security, tax strategies, wealth management, RMDs, legacy planning, long-term care solutions, and most importantly, how to make sure you have enough guaranteed lifetime income to retire your way with choice and dignity. From taxes to trends to total transparency, Dale covers it all. And now, here is Retire Your Way and Dale Soutas. This is Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial. Every single week, here to help you with your retirement planning strategies, tax planning, income planning strategies. In fact, this week, I want to make sure that we're going over some of the steps that you cannot miss before you get to retirement. And what are you waiting for? Few retirees today, especially pre-retirees, seek advice, even though they have financial security fears in retirement. They've never done it before. Mr. Dale Soutas, the virtual crowd, teeing you up, getting you excited.
Yeah.
How are you doing this week, Dale Soutas?
Doing great. Just staying very busy. It's a good problem to have. They think that's going to keep me out of trouble. I don't think it works, but anyway.
Yeah. More.
That's the people who know me, right?
More and more people coming in, more and more people hearing your radio program, more and more people coming into the office and calling, and we encourage you, our radio listeners, to do exactly the same. You can set up your own no-cost portfolio review very simply by calling the phone number 833-856-1382. Dale, I have a surprise question for you. Folks, he doesn't know this one is coming. Even though I'm going to ask about the 7 steps you can't miss before retiring. Actually, within the last few weeks, for those Dancing with the Stars fans, my mother, oh my gosh, she was talking about who her favorites were going to be. And as we talk about the 7 steps you can't miss before retiring, I'm going to ask you, Dale, how good of a dancer are you? Are you light on your feet?
Well, it's unbelievable, Spike. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Oh, okay. It is okay. I get you. We can take that one way or another.
Unbelievable.
Yes. Your dance skills are unparalleled. Correct?
Yes, that too.
All right. Well, the reason I ask you is I want you to stay pretty light on your feet today, at least when it comes to financial answers. And I do want to talk about some of these steps for our radio listeners to be aware of. Literally starting out with number 1. Now, I don't want you to tap dance around this answer, okay? I'm going to play with the analogies.
Break dance? Can I do a break dance?
Oh, my God. If I could see Dale Soutas break dance, that would make the rest of my year. All right, we're going to see a video on that. Dale Soutas breakdancing.
Yeah.
Do not break this one up, though. Is retirement just a financial decision? You know, before we truly get started, even we're going to get into some numerics and so forth, but if this is a step, knowing what we have to do for retirement, is it just a financial decision, Dale?
Think of it this way. Is your home just a pile of wood and other materials?
Okay.
You know?
No.
So lately I've been helping people understand why we do things the way we do. I ask them, what do you want retirement to look like? It's like you want your dream house. You're going to have somebody build your dream house. Well, number 1, where do you want it to be? How big? How many rooms? How do you want it to look? So that's where we start, and then we get into, well, what do you have, for building your retirement with? What type of savings, retirement plans, what type of income do you have going into retirement? Social Security, pensions, rental income, what is it? So what do you really want that retirement to look like is more important to us, because if I don't know what you want it to be like, how can I help you achieve it? Do you want to travel more? You want to spoil the wife, the grandkids, activities you want to get involved in?
Hobbies, volunteer work, health, fitness, purpose, all of those matter too?
Yeah, and like I get ones, they lately I've had a couple different ones where they would like to go back up to Alaska and fish, the Kenai River. I used to live up that way, and it's a beautiful area. Do halibut fishing. I have ones who like hunting. I've never gotten into that, but I do like fishing once in a while, but haven't done it here in California for a long time. And you don't get the big 40, 60-pound king salmons out of the lakes nearby. I'm finding out.
Yeah. And I think maintaining fitness, health, and purpose, all those things
Hmm.
oftentimes are intertwined. The purpose helps you maintain your health. The health allows you to maintain a purpose. I think fabrics of your retirement that are weaved together, if you will. You've got to maintain a
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
let's say
all.
they want to travel. So, I ask, what kind of travel do you want to do? Do you want to fly to different destinations in country, out of country? You want to take cruises? Some they have their own RV, or maybe they want to get an RV. A variety of ways to travel. So again, your purpose. What do you want to see? What do you want to do? If you say, "Hey, I want to retire," or "I want to go somewhere," well, where do you want to go? I don't know. I'll just get in the car and go. No, that's without purpose, and it's kind of hard to direct or give somebody a GPS, map on their retirement if they don't really know what they want to do. So we really encourage people to think about that. Think about a perfect day. What's your perfect day? And your perfect day may be different than your spouse's perfect day. Well, how can we help you both to have those perfect days throughout retirement? That would be a good way to do it too.
Yeah. We want to let you know that as the year is beginning to wrap up, that you can also get your own free portfolio review, kind of start having these conversations. Retirement isn't just a financial decision. Even if it is kind of talking about volunteering and purpose and how do you put these things together and weave it together with your own financial plan, you can call the phone number. And the reason I'm going to be giving it out a lot today is there really isn't a lot of calendar time left in this year. So if we want to start implementing some strategies or get in before that end of year rush when a lot of offices are going to be closed. In fact, as I look at the holiday calendar, it looks like a lot of the major holidays are in the middle of the week. So it's going to be a lot of odd times. And if you'd like to get in, let's do that sooner than later. Call the number 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382. Anywhere you're at in California, because as we've expanded our radio coverage here, if you're listening to us and you find out we're too far away for you, well, we can set up a phone call. Let's talk about the things that are on your mind, and then we can see what we need to do. There's a lot of things that we can do remotely for one another.
Yeah, speaking of that,
Yeah,
let me
go ahead.
throw something out. We're based right here in basically in the middle of California, Fresno, and I'm finding out people all over the Central Valley hear our show. And I just had one recently out of Bakersfield, who we had a telephone appointment, or it might have been a Zoom. I can't remember which. I've had people out of Modesto. I've had people out of Salinas, the Monterey County area, Stockton, just different areas. So we're not opposed to taking by the hand no matter where you're at. It could be over the phone initially. It could be a Zoom appointment. I can actually show you my screens when it comes to showing you what you've given us and what you want to do in retirement. So a lot of different methods there too.
Yeah. So a lot we can do. It's over the phone or in person. Of course, we love having you come on into the office and we can set up a time for you. As we're just saying that when do we retire is not necessarily just a financial decision. So how do you pinpoint the right time for somebody to retire? Is this more about we want to enjoy some of those healthy years, so let's do it sooner than later, so we don't have any regrets? Is it about health? Is it about how soon and quickly and what kind of income we can create?
Good
Again,
questions.
yeah.
Yeah. So actually, I'm thinking of a couple out of the Monterey County. We have fun talking. We've had a couple of Zoom appointments already. Got to familiar with their situation, what he wants to do, and when ones tell me, "Hey, I want to retire ASAP. I want to get out." Okay, fine. I start crunching those numbers right away. What do you need to pay the bills? What do you need to spoil your wife and kids and grandkids and all these wonderful things? So what's interesting, it's really encouraging to say, even though he thought he had to wait till the end of next year, 2026, I pointed out with your decent savings and so on, you could retire the end of this year. And we've actually had a few visits already, and encouraging. He's already given notice. And so it's like, oh, okay. But we can put things together. We can show you. In fact, we inflated his goals much more than what he said he needed to pay the bills, much more than what he said he would do to spoil his wife and the kids and all that, as far as a paycheck, playcheck, and still giving him quite a bit down the road to keep them out of a nursing home. And they still won't run out of money. So it's encouraging. It's helpful. So how do you pinpoint it?
Yeah.
Some of it's when you want to retire. Some, unfortunately, like I had someone recently get a notice from the employer saying that they have an offer, a buyout to retire early. But we take the whole picture into account, and then, to help encourage them to make a good decision, not just shoot from the hip, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, speaking of not shooting from the hip here right now, we don't want to throw out our hip as we're talking about the steps we need to take for our retirement planning when we get back. Are there some easy formulas to help us figure out exactly how much we need to have in savings before we can all comfortably say we're going to retire? And then what can we do to maybe maximize here in the last stretch if we're in our late 50s, early 60s? Feel like we're behind, what are some actual steps that you can take and do? So all of these things before you retire when we get back, you can also call the phone number and say, hey, you know what? I just want to talk to Dale himself and see what things I need to do in person. 833-856-1382 is the phone number. Or if you just want to schedule a time to talk over the phone, we can do that as well. 833-856-1382. More with Dale Soutas right after this.
Are you worried that you waited too late to start your retirement planning? That you waited too late to start saving? At Soutas Financial, we believe it's never too late to start planning for your future. We can help you develop a personalized retirement plan that is tailored to your current needs and goals. The team at Soutas Financial will sit down with you and provide an evaluation of your current path, including your investment strategy, tax planning, and risk management approach. We'll help you identify potential areas for improvement and work with you to create a retirement plan that is designed to help you work towards having financial security and peace of mind in retirement. It's not too late for you to get started with Soutas Financial. Call us today to schedule your complimentary retirement planning session. We believe we can help you get on the path to financial security and peace of mind in retirement. Call Dale Soutas and the team at Soutas Financial to get started on your own complimentary written financial plan. Call 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Social Security is easy, right? The question is, should I take it sooner or later? Well, there are dozens and dozens of ways to take Social Security if you're single, and even more if you're married. This one-time decision can also affect how much you pay in taxes, how much you receive in lifetime payouts for you and possibly your spouse. You could increase your nest egg by tens of thousands of dollars just by being informed. Unfortunately, the Social Security office is not allowed to give you comprehensive financial planning advice. You've paid into Social Security for decades. Don't you want to make sure you optimize your retirement income? Sure, there are tons of online calculators that will tell you how much you will receive from Social Security. Now, you need to build that into a retirement income plan with all of your assets. Get your own tailored, no-cost Social Security income strategy with the team at Retire Your Way and Soutas Financial. 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382. Or you can write Dale Soutas at dale@soutas.com, SOUTAS.com.
For your own complimentary Retire Your Way review, call Dale Soutas of Retire Your Way and Soutas Financial at 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Welcome back to Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial. The steps you need to consider before your retirement planning, or maybe before you jump off that cliff going into retirement. Dale,
the dance steps.
Well, yeah, I was going to say the steps
dance
you need to take. So we could dance
into retirement.
We could skip. We could hop. We could moonwalk our way into retirement, doing it backwards. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways we go about it. But you know what, Dale? I've asked you this numerical question before. And I think you've helped me identify that between families, individuals, couples, whatever it might be, the number that we need to save is completely different for everyone because your lifestyle is different, your spending is different. But how about this one as one of those shortcuts? I think I read this one recently. What about taking, let's say, your highest earning years and maybe like I don't know, what you file in taxes with you, if you're married with you and your spouse. What if you take your highest earnings years, multiply that by, let's say, 25 or 30, however long you think you might be in retirement, and letting that determine, or at least getting you in the ballpark of how much you need to save. So let's say if it was $100,000 a year, you multiply that by 25 years, we get $2.5 million, right?
Right.
Is that the kind of number we're looking for? Is that an okay ballpark? Or like Oakland, has that ballpark left? And it doesn't count anymore.
Or candlestick, yeah. Okay, so that to me doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Because,
Thank you very much. I appreciate all my research. No, I'm kidding. Why doesn't it make sense?
Because let's say in reality, I have couples making in excess of sometimes of $200,000 or $300,000 a year right now towards the, as they get closer to retirement. And if you multiplied that by the 25 or whatever, it's they're going to think, well, I got to keep working 20 more years before I can. No, it doesn't necessarily take the millions to produce with your Social Security and pensions and maybe even rental income, additional income if needed to continue to pay your bills with inflation to your your wife's age 100, to have a playcheck to cover all the fun stuff you want to do to the husband's age 85, because usually around the mid-80s he might need care. So that stops and you have a care check to keep him and then yourself out of a nursing home down the road. So it's what surprises people is more and more companies obviously are not offering pensions. You have a 401k, a TSP, 457, all of those 403bs. It might only be that you need to use a portion of some of those savings to set up some additional guaranteed income. Once the income's set up down the road, that income can grow just like Social Security and usually pensions do. And that we've covered your paycheck, playcheck, and we have a system built in to keep you out of a nursing home down the road. Either that income grows to way more than you need to spend on any fun and needs, and you have enough to keep yourselves with care, or we have another tool that can be turned on for additional income if care is needed, if and when, let's say. So many times people don't need the 2, 3, 10 million to retire. They might have $500,000. They might have 200,000. They might have a couple million. It all, again, boils down to, well, what do you really need to pay the bills? What do you need to spoil your spouse, and the kids and grandkids to have fun? And, I don't like that method, because if somebody took that calculation and they're making 300,000, you times it by 25.
Yeah,
what is that?
We're at 6-7 million. We're getting a lot of money.
Yeah, it's like 7.5 million you need, and I only have 2 million. Yeah, well, I don't want them thinking they have to keep working. It's
okay, and fair enough.
Yeah, that's not a good calculation.
Okay, plus we can factor in that. During those high earnings years, hopefully, if people have been getting the messaging over the last 4.5 decades, they're saving for their retirement as well, obviously. And they don't need, I don't know, maybe 20% of it or 25% of it, because they don't need to keep saving for retirement. So they're in retirement, right? So they can maybe shallow it down. But on the other hand, there's the tax factor. And this is something I wanted to ask you about. So even if I took my simple calculation of what your high salary is times 25 or 30 years in retirement, you don't, and you get to $2.5 million, you don't have all of $2.5 million depending on how you saved it, right? If all of that is tax deferred, do you actually have $2.5 million to spend, Dale?
Yeah, people don't realize, they proudly say, oh, I got X amount of dollars in my retirement account, my 401k, TSPs, and all those. I've got $500,000 or I got $1 million. Okay, great. But who's your partner in that money? Uncle Sam, and in California, Uncle Newsom as well. So you've got, if you try to close that money out, take big lumps out, you're sharing a lot of that with Uncle Sam. So how you've saved through the years is just as important as how much you've saved. And for our children, our grandchildren, we need to teach them how to save in a way that keeps Uncle Sam from being their partner in their retirement account. So you have your tax-deferred accounts, IRAs, 401ks, 403bs, all those things. Who's your partner in that, Uncle Sam? If you look at the balance, it's really not 100% yours. And now taxes are lower today, but likely where will they be down the road 5, 10, 20 years from now? So, how to strategize that throughout retirement too is important to, build into your plan.
Yeah. We want to build everything we possibly can into the plan, including an efficient tax strategy. So even if we're kind of heading into those final years and mostly you've been saving into tax-deferred accounts, this would also be a great time to do a tax review. Now, things like Roth conversions or getting to make sure that you can maximize everything into your accounts, there's some differences in the deadlines. If you would like a Roth conversion to count for this calendar year, you have to do it in this calendar year. This isn't one of those things you can do in the first quarter of next year, like finishing up some of your catch-up contributions. So to do your complete tax review and portfolio review, call the phone number 833-856-1382. Dale, you could probably tell where I was going. It's how do we maximize the nest egg here in the final stretch? And this might take me a little bit into the second half of the show as well. But
good question. Good question. So you have some tax deferred money. You're getting close to. You are in early stages of retirement, let's say, or even years away. And right now, if you're 65 and above, you got an extra $6,000 each. So if you're married, $12,000 that you can lower your income. It's a deduction, not a credit, but a deduction. So that can give you a little more wiggle room on moving money from some of your tax-deferred 401ks, IRAs, and such to Roth IRA, and be able to, have that money grow and ultimately be tax-free to use down the road. No RMDs, and all of that you take out of your Roth tax-free accounts will not affect your other income sources, and it won't help push your Social Security up into being taxed more and more. But yeah, doing the Roth might be smart. So to know whether you should do some before the end of the year, let's chat, get the picture. And especially for those who are, really close to retirement, how to do that once you stop working may be real good too, because now your income is lower. You may have a ability to convert more of that tax-deferred money to Roth, maybe even delay taking Social Security without affecting your overall income plan, and get more and more or all of it as Roth, and then down the road, you've got Uncle Sam out of your retirement. So there's some neat strategies. But if you think you might be a candidate this year, then let's talk before the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. Is this your favorite or primary or best way for maximizing for retirement savings? Or do we also, if we're flush, do we want to consider a little bit outside of the retirement accounts? I'm not just talking about trading and all different kinds of stuff. What about things that can kind of help us secure the retirement? Tools that you like outside your work plan?
Well, yeah. Basically, it's along the line of how to maximize that nest egg, right? So you're getting closer to retirement. If you're in your mid to late 50s, early 60s, you're 50 plus. You can catch up on what you put into your retirement accounts. But what if it's better to put money into the Roth versions of a 401k, Roth 403bs and such? Or what if it's better to, transfer some of the money out of your existing company plans to where that's more in your control, and you can then have it set up for future income, do Roth conversions from that as well. So there's a lot of things that could be done ahead of time.
A lot of things that we can do, but we can't do anything if you don't reach out to us right here at the radio program. This is Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas, the founder of Soutas Financial, your financial advisor right here in California. We can't help you if you don't reach out to us. Call the phone number to get started on your own portfolio review and your written financial plan for retirement. 60, 90 minutes dedicated to you. Maybe a follow-up, maybe another follow-up from there, maybe a fourth follow-up from there, maybe a fifth follow-up from there. It all depends on what you do or don't need. But leave your checkbook at home, leave your purse at home, come on in and have a conversation. Dale wants to help as many of you be and stay retired as possible. 833-856-1382 is the phone number. More with Dale Soutas after these messages.
How do you know if you're retirement ready? That's a question many people ask themselves as they approach their golden years. We believe the answer can be complex and depends on many factors, such as your savings, monthly expenses, and lifestyle goals. At Soutas Financial, we can help you determine if you're retirement ready. We'll work with you to assess your financial situation, identify any potential income gaps, and develop a customized plan that aligns with your goals. Don't leave your retirement to chance. Call us today to learn how we can help you work towards achieving financial security and peace of mind in retirement. Call Dale Soutas and the team at Soutas Financial for your complimentary retirement readiness review. Call 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Is your largest retirement savings account one that you haven't paid taxes on? Like millions of Americans, you've saved into a retirement account that deferred paying taxes until you take that money out years from now. One method to save on future taxes is called a Roth conversion, and you could do that right now to save yourself from higher taxes in the future. Currently living during the lowest tax rates of likely your lifetime, wouldn't it make sense to pay those taxes now instead of in the future when tax rates could be much higher? Call 833-856-1382 to talk with Dale Soutas and the team at Soutas Financial to see if doing a Roth conversion from your 401ks or IRAs makes sense. Take the Roth Conversion Challenge from Dale Soutas and the team at Soutas Financial. It's complimentary for our radio listeners who are serious about retirement planning. Challenge yourself. Would you rather pay lower taxes now or higher taxes in the future? Call for your own complimentary Roth Conversion Challenge from Dale Soutas and Soutas Financial. 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Call Dale Soutas of Retire Your Way and Soutas Financial for your complimentary Retire Your Way review. 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Welcome back to Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial. Today, we're talking about the steps you need to take, consider, and make sure you don't skip over to be and stay retired. A huge question for me is, how exactly do you build a retirement income stream? Your 401k, your 403b, your 457, even your pension, well, I guess a pension plan is a reliable income stream, but it's not necessarily all of it. So how do you do it? Step by step, Dale. Don't skip for me here.
Okay. Okay. So think about it. Years ago, people, when they retired, they had a pension. So that was their number one source of income. And that was, set up for a lifetime. And then number two would be Social Security. And if they needed more, they would pull from their savings. And even if they had IRAs or retirement accounts, those were the last source. But more and more, it's flipped. So now people have this huge amount of savings in their 401ks, TSPs, and all those accounts. And how to draw some additional income from those is what they're looking at, number one, because Social Security stays in the middle, number two, and very few, if any, have pensions. And if they do, sometimes they're small because they've moved from company to company and the little pension they're getting, or for whatever reason, or none at all, like I said. So how do you build retirement income that's reliable, dependable? Because in retirement, think about it. You have this lump of money and you think, well, I could take so much out every year, take a little bit out each month, and it should keep going and growing. And, and for most people, they think that way, yet that doesn't always pan out, because especially if you have some or a good portion of that money tied to the stock market, what's it doing? It's going up and down. So do you want, when the market goes down, do you want to have to stop doing as much as you had planned, tighten your belt, so to speak, and, be more skimpy? Or do you want your retirement to be something you can keep going? So how do you build that income? Sometimes it's just as simple as setting up your own private pension, so to speak. You can before you retire or after you retire, you can position some, not all, but maybe you position some of your retirement savings into the only financial tool that can give you lifetime guaranteed income, and that would be an annuity. Now, you don't by any stretch want to throw all your money into annuities. They're not as liquid. You may have some managed money where it can fluctuate, but we don't want the big, what's in Santa Cruz, the Big Dipper, they call it, that roller coaster, or down in LA area, the big flag, what are the flags down there? Whatever they call that big park, but they have the big roller coaster, scary ones, right? You don't need that kind of a ride, even if you have money under management. But sometimes having ability to turn on income either soon when you retire or a few years after you retire that can keep going and growing along with your Social Security and other income sources eliminates the concern about, number one, can I keep paying the bills through my wife's age 100? Can we keep playing as we want, through the years? And have that money increase, keep up with, hopefully beat inflation. There are easy ways to do that,
but it's not necessarily easy for the listener to conceptualize. I mean, they have retirement account. I mean, unless we have government employees or the state employees who receive pension plans, they'll know how to turn that on. There still are selections.
Yeah, they'll be given the options.
Yeah, they'll be given the options. But for everybody
and then
else,
even to know, let's say if you're married and you have a pension, how do you turn that on? Do you turn it on just for yourself? You get that maximum amount, or do you build it for to continue to your spouse? If it's your pension and you're a male, that planning might be different than how I strategize for your wife if she's got the big pension. Just all depends on a whole lot of circumstances. But again, the having money protected. I mean, well, think about it. The pension is money that your company set aside through the years, and this lump of money is now annuitized for the rest of your life or the rest of your lives. When you start Social Security, what is that? Well, whatever you've put into Social Security through the years is guaranteed lifetime income. It's a guaranteed lifetime annuity for the rest of your life. And if you see that for what you want to do and enjoy throughout retirement is that your current Social Security and or pensions are not going to cut it, how can you use a portion of your savings to produce some additional guaranteed lifetime income? Again, it's very simple to do that. As far as a concept, it's just setting your own pension up. You don't have to turn it on right away. Maybe you let it grow and produce even more income down the road. Or maybe you do need some income right away. So there's a variety of ways to do it. But we need liquidity. We need to be able to grab money too, even if it's retirement savings to, you got to get a new fridge or new HVAC or whatever, buy a new car. So there's different things like that come into play as well.
Yeah. We want to make sure that we're taking all of the steps along the process and making sure we leave no stone unturned. It is not just what you have saved into your retirement accounts. If you are still fortunate enough to receive a pension plan, congratulations, but there are still things in there that we want to help you evaluate, at least get a second opinion on before you turn it on, because oftentimes those decisions are not reversible. Do you want the maximum amount of income, but then we don't leave anything for the spouse? What happens if you get hit by the magical bus, your first year in retirement? Will the proceeds all then go over to your spouse? I mean, I don't want to get depressing on it, but there are just things to consider. And that's kind of Dale's job, is to look at all of the different situations. If you would like somebody to kind of take a finer tooth comb, someone who is a fiduciary, someone who has your best interests in mind, someone who is not trying to pitch or sell you something, someone who just wants to take a look at your situation, your financial situation, who's been doing this you've been doing this for a year or two, right, Dale? Was it 30?
Yep, in the Valley since 1989.
Wow, since 1989.
So that's what, 3 weeks now almost?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 3 weeks.
I'm good with that math thing.
Decades, four decades, something like that. Folks, sit down with somebody who does this kind of planning every single day in their offices. 833-856-1382 is the phone number. That's 833-856-1382. Ask for your free portfolio review to see how you're doing. Hey, you know what, Dale? When you were talking about income, I didn't Did I hear you say Social Security, or did we skip over that? How much of you are you counting on the Social Security being in there as part of a reliable income stream?
Well, yeah, I mean, Social Security stays usually number 2, like I said. Pensions used to be number 1. Now they're number 3 sources of income in retirement. Social Security is number 2. So usually people are looking to their retirement savings accounts as income source number 1. But again, by just drawing off of it, it's not difficult to conceive why I'm concerned with people thinking they could just draw off their retirement accounts. Even if you're making 6% or 7% on average and you only need 5% out of your account, the ups and downs of the market can whittle away that savings to where it goes down to 0. But maybe putting a portion where you have some of that guaranteed income, you can have that money now doing 7, 10%, whatever you want, without it affecting your overall income plan and give you more flexibility in retirement. But Social Security needs to be planned for as well. When do you turn it on? For those who think, I got to turn it on at 62 as soon as I can because it's not going to be there down the road. Be realistic. The people who run the government aren't going to want to lose their job, their power. They're going to do something to keep it intact. A simple fix is for those who make more than 100, what is it today, 174,000, whatever that number is. If you make more than that, you don't pay into Social Security. So what about if they raise that cap or eliminate it? It would fix the Social Security deficit right away, and they would be able to keep paying Social Security. So they're going to do something because they don't want to lose their jobs. It's just a matter of time when they do it. But in the meantime, let's do the best strategy to maximize your Social Security. And what if you are retiring around 60, 62, and I show you could delay till full retirement age, 67, or even push to 70, get the delayed credits. You could do other things like do more Roth conversions to keep Uncle Sam out of that future income, even from the tools that are used for future income. Like let's say you set up an income annuity and down the road it's been converted to a Roth. Now all that income over your lifetimes is tax-free. So there's some neat strategies, even not only with Social Security, but even on the tax side. We need to look at it all.
Yeah, and you need to look at it as well as one of our radio listeners, but we can't help you if you don't reach out to us. Easiest way to do that, call the phone number or go to the website. 833-856-1382. Ask for your free portfolio review from Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial. Go to the website if you'd like to. You can learn more about Dale there, and you can schedule your own appointment as well. If you're considering time before the end of the year, I would say call that phone number or go to the website sooner than later. We are running out of days in the end of the year to be able to do a free portfolio review. And if there are any tax moves we need to make before the calendar year clicks over, we got to get you in. Call 833-856-1382 and ask for your free portfolio review. More with Dale Soutas right after this.
Are you worried about taxes eating into your retirement savings? By engaging in savvy tax planning, you might be able to create greater tax efficiency in your retirement plan. At Soutas Financial, our team of retirement planning specialists can help you explore tax-deferred and tax-free investment options, as well as strategies to help potentially minimize your tax burden in retirement. Don't let taxes derail your retirement plans. Let us help you create a tax-efficient financial plan and work towards maximizing your savings and minimizing your taxes. Call Dale Soutas of Retire Your Way and the team at Soutas Financial today to learn more about our tax planning solutions. Call 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Which will you spend more money on in retirement, food or healthcare? Do you take your investments out of the stock market now that you are retired? Will your Social Security check be reduced in the future? How do you produce income from your nest egg to fight costs like taxes and inflation? At Soutas Financial, Dale Soutas and the team take the guessing out of retirement planning by devising a written plan that accounts for all of your concerns. The bigger question, are you going to be okay in retirement? Find out the answers to your retirement questions by calling Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial and retire your way. 833-856-1382. Income, investments, Social Security, Medicare, longevity, health care. We cover these solutions and all of those other questions on your mind to answer, are you going to be okay in retirement? Call Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial and retire your way. 833-856-1382 for your own complimentary retirement plan meeting. 833-856-1382.
Retire your way with Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial. 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Welcome back to Retire Your Way with Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial. You know, as I usually do right before the break, I was talking about your portfolio review. And I'll admit, Dale, I've heard other financial radio programs, and a lot of folks use that same phrasing. But as we say words over and over again, it becomes commonplace for us. Portfolio review. And eventually it becomes like there's a non-meaning. What does it mean to you, Dale?
I don't really use that phrase much. I mean, sometimes we say it here on the show, but, really what I like to do with people is do a retirement income review to see, because really, when you really boil it down, to maintain your lifestyle, to have to do the things you want to do, whether you're working or not working, it usually depends on our income, right? People, well, I can't go to that movie because, I've got to pay my bills, okay? I mean, to be extreme, right? But what if to do that trip, to do that many trips, to do, buy that boat, to buy that RV, to do the travel, to help the kids out, to take them on trips. I mean, whatever it is you really want to do. Maybe you want to take and do pickleball throughout the country, visit different places and play pickleball. I've actually had ones that love to do that. There's their passion. So there's a variety of things we may want to do, but are we holding back because we don't have the income? Well, I don't want people holding back. Once you retire, I want you to be able to do all those things you've been thinking about, dreaming about, wanting to do. Maybe you want to get into some hobbies and be crazy like I am with high-powered rockets or
your rocket ships.
Airplanes, But, I've scaled that back a little bit lately because I got, anyway, whatever.
Did you get a little over your skis? Were you spending a little bit too much money on the rockets?
Well, actually, I lost
lose one or
my
two?
big rocket one day. It went up at an angle. I didn't turn GPS on because I used that same motor, and it went straight up and came down in front of us 50 feet away, which was amazing. But
so
still,
you assumed, and what does it say inside the front prospectus that no one has ever read? Past performance is no guarantee of future results in any instance. To the contrary is a federal offense. And you thought, I know what's going to... I've blown this rocket straight up in the air once. I know what it's going to do.
It went to 10,000 feet, and it came down perfectly right, in front of us. So I thought we had this national event last May, and I thought, I don't need to turn GPS on. And another buddy in the club said, nah, you don't need to. And so I didn't. And what did it do? Shot off kind of at an angle. And we saw the direction it went, but we never saw the parachute. So we chased it down for a couple hours, couldn't find it. And what actually happened, it was a windy day, and the 8-foot parachute drug it another half mile away. And we didn't find it till the next day.
Yeah. Was it in the middle of somebody's windshield?
No, that's a huge, big, wide open dairy field or fields. And so, but here's what prompted me. So I was at the point where I thought, okay, if it was lost, I mean, just the motor casing that's 3 foot tall, 3-inch diameter, alone costs more than the whole rocket. And there's no way I was going to go spend money on buy a new kit and build and spend all that time build a new rocket. I thought, well, I'm done if I couldn't find it. But I don't want people feeling that way in retirement. I don't want them getting to a point where maybe they lost some money and now, well, I'm done. No. So let's plan it properly so that lifestyle can keep going. Does that make sense? Yep. So it's a retirement income checkup. That's our focus really is how to help people number one, have the income to keep doing all they want to do. Now, if you have that set up, your other assets can easily be set up to where they can grow. You can maybe even take a little more risk because not that I'm encouraging taking a lot of risk, but you can take maybe higher risk. But if you're depending on a big lump of money, instead of using a portion for income and you have that big lump of money on the market, you're going to want to take very little risk to hopefully have that feeling it's not going to run out. But if you have your income dialed in, you could take a little bit more risk, have a little more gains through the years, and still have your money grow. And it amazes people when I put together that plan. And like I said, I had somebody recently, we were doing it, and I was thinking, well, you did really good on saving. And what if we just, you average this kind of return, you have a high 90 percentile chance of your money lasting to your wife's age 100. And then I said, well, let's put a little bit into this and give you some guaranteed income. And then it blew the numbers out the roof. It was
had him living
grow.
to 120.
No, but I mean, living to age 100, and there was more money left over for the beneficiaries.
So you were saying to just taking a portfolio at, I'm just going to throw out numbers, a 4 to 5% or something like that, being, conservative with it, even more conservative than a 60-40. You're saying, okay, pretty good chance, 90% chance it'll last for at least one of you to 100. But using some of the guaranteed solutions, not all, but a portion.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Just a little bit there, a little bit with Social Security, a little bit then with the continued moderate growth of the portfolio. And you're saying you're able to blow by those numbers of age?
Well, yeah, because once you solve the income, then the rest is gravy, right? It's just icing on the cake. If you have $1 million, let's say, not that I say you have to have $1 million, but you have $1 million, and let's say we use $200,000 to buy some additional guaranteed lifetime income. And now you have $800,000 that, your income's solved, okay? And we can position some of that also to where, it's safe, protected, but we can also position it to where you can have it, managed properly on the market. And your money, you might end up with $5-10 million at the age 100. Again, depending on your lifestyle, your what you need to pay the bills and to play, your income goals.
Fascinating for me to hear it. Always glad to hear your personal examples of how you've helped folks out. This baffles me, though, because there's an independent study from Transamerica's Center for Retirement Studies. Only 35% of retirees and 37% of those over the age of 50 look to a financial advisor for advice.
Right.
I mean, among workers 50 or older, only 17% said they are very confident they can maintain a comfortable lifestyle through retirement. My question, Dale, is what are they waiting for? What are our listeners waiting for? Do you hear that sometimes?
Yeah, and what's been encouraging? People hear us on the radio, and they get a feel for how mean and ornery I am, right? So I've actually had people say, I like how you talk about things, and they finally come in, and we just review things, and it's painless. I mean, other than taking some time either on the phone, Zoom, or in person, and I have people coming in from quite a distance at times, driving to our office right here, because we're right easy to find currently on Shaw, just west of Blackstone in Fresno. But it just take a few minutes. Let's sit down. Let's see where you're at. I like telling people when they don't need to get fancy with any of these tools, annuities or otherwise, that you're fine. Your income's going to be great. You got things dialed in. Maybe there's a little tweaking here or there. How many people do I run into that own real estate and still do not have a living trust? That I don't do them. I don't get anything for referring you to any attorney to do them, but that will protect your house to go to your beneficiaries instead of the state's probate system. That's a whole different issue. But again, yeah, I'm like you. Don't wait. Just the good problem they're creating for us is we're doing our best now to look at expanding and getting additional advisors to to
help you
assist.
get as much help
I'm
as
going to
you
blame it on. I'm going to blame it on the listeners for that.
Yeah, you need more hands on deck, if you will. And that's why it's even more important for our radio listeners to know right now that you can reach out, you can call us here, you can set up your appointment. It's not going to interrupt the program. There is no cost, there's no obligation. If there are more and more Americans today, like 42% of older workers, 39% of retirees are concerned about Social Security reduction. 30 to 40% are worried that they are going to completely run out of money in retirement. If you are quietly struggling with that yourself, not wanting to bring it up with your spouse, not wanting to talk about it with your friends at parties because you're uncertain, let's help you sleep at night by going over your numbers. Sometimes an extra tool or two might help you live the lifestyle you've never dreamed of. Let us help you put that together. Call the phone number right now. The portfolio review, as we're saying, it's your time. It's your dedicated time to sit down. Let us help you take a look at your accounts, your tax situation, your income, your Social Security, your health care coverage needs, everything from long-term care to Medicare, all of that. That's what we mean by portfolio. What do you need? Give us a call. 833-856-1382 and ask for your free retirement review with Dale Soutas of Soutas Financial, him and his team. Or you can go to the website and schedule right there. Go to Soutas.com, Soutas.com. For financial advisor Dale Soutas, I'm Spike. We'll be back again next week.
As a valued radio listener of Retire Your Way, Dale and his entire team of retirement professionals invite you to schedule your very own complimentary retirement plan review session. 833-856-1382 is the number for you to call. If you don't have a retirement strategy mapped out that includes low-fee investment elections, tax minimization strategies, decumulation plans that will last as long as you need them to, then call for your very own retirement review session, complimentary for our valued radio listeners. Are you able to lower your taxes in retirement? Are you unclear about your Social Security, Medicare, investment fees and risk, or how to produce guaranteed lifetime income so your lifestyle and goals don't have to be changed with the ups and downs of the market or taxes? Call Dale Soutas with Soutas Financial and be confident you can retire your way. Schedule your own comprehensive and complimentary retirement review session. Don't just live in retirement, thrive. Call 833-856-1382. That's 833-856-1382.
Investment advisory services are offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, Foundations, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The content provided is intended for informational and educational purposes only. The views, statements, and opinions expressed herein are those of the individual speakers and not necessarily those of Foundations and its affiliates. The information contained herein does not constitute an offer to sell any securities or represent an express or implied opinion or endorsement of any specific investment opportunity, offering, or issuer. Any discussion of performance or returns is not indicative of future results. Any discussions of specific strategies are for informational purposes only and have been provided to help determine whether they may be appropriate for your specific situation. If applicable, the primary goal is converting retirement assets into a Roth IRA is to reduce the future tax liability on the distributions you take in retirement or on the distributions of your beneficiaries. Each individual investor's situation is different, and any ideas provided may not be appropriate for your particular circumstances. Comments regarding a particular client's experience may or may not be the same as another client's experience and is not an indication that any client or prospective client will experience the same or a higher level of future success or performance. Foundations only transacts business in those jurisdictions where it's properly registered or is excluded or exempted from registration requirements. Registration as an investment advisor is not an endorsement of the firm by securities regulators and does not mean the advisor has achieved a specific level of skill or ability. Nothing herein constitutes a recommendation that any security, portfolio, or securities or investment strategy is suitable for any specific person. No legal or tax advice is provided. Please review your retirement, tax, and estate legacy planning strategies with a legal tax professional before transacting or implementing any strategies discussed herein. Any comments regarding safe and secure investments and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products. They do not in any way refer to investment advisory products. Rates and guarantees provided by insurance products and annuities are subject to the financial strength of the issuing insurance company, not guaranteed by any bank or the FDIC. This is not endorsed or affiliated with the Social Security Administration, any federal Medicare program, nor any U.S. government agency. If applicable, we do not offer every plan available in your area, and contacting us at the phone numbers provided herein will direct you to a licensed insurance agent. Any information we provide is limited to those plans we do offer in your area. Please contact Medicare.gov or 1-800-MEDICARE to get information on all your options. All rights reserved.